Alright, y'all, so this I don't usually do in my videos. I'm actually recording this after watching what we watched here in this video that you're going to see here. But make sure you watch this until the end, because after, like, it actually goes into what the title of this video is going to be. This is actually huge. It's some of the biggest, it's some of the biggest leaked information that we have heard from the COO's mouth ever before in the Veve community. So I'm super excited. I'm super pumped. You all are going to hear the conclusion that I came to, but you are entitled to make your own conclusions. But make sure you watch to the end so you fully understand. There's a point in the beginning where I speculate, but towards the end, what comes out of his mouth, you will not believe it. Let's get into the video. Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another Veve and Ecomi video. In this one, we're going to actually be here watching the COO of Ecomi explain some things, really deep dive into the project, and a lot of information here that you'll find on this channel. You could actually use this information to help some of your investment decisions alone when it comes down to you doing your own research and due diligence and stuff like that. You can actually use a lot of the stuff that we upload here. So be sure to drop that thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on notifications so you don't miss things like this. Because yeah, this is an interview with the COO, and he's going to really be diving deep into what Veve actually is. And I've already seen something in this video so far. Like, I just watched a little bit of it, and I was like, oh, you know what? This is going to have some interesting stuff in it. So yeah, we're going to react to it. And yeah, I'm already seeing some stuff where it's like, you're probably holding some stuff back. So y'all know how my mind works, man. But yeah, let's jump into it. Let's see what's going on here, man.
Moved into also around 3 years ago was the digital collectible space. Yeah, Alex, as you mentioned, you know, back then, I mean, to be honest, people couldn't even spell NFT, or NFT wasn't really even a thing. The only thing that was out was CryptoKitties. And it was really, the idea was that we could potentially take all of the licenses that my business partner and another gentleman in the company had access to, and then around that, you know, build a product for collectors. So
right there. So if you know me, you already know what I'm thinking, and a lot of you are probably thinking the same thing. So the idea was to take licenses your business partner already has, and take licenses another guy in the company, which he's talking about, Al Khan. Take these two guys and their connections and build a business around the licenses that these guys have access to. So if we're making a list of the licenses that these guys have access to, two of their licenses, one and the same, would both be Pokemon. I'm just saying, both of their, especially at this point early in the company, one of these guys is literally the guy who introduced Pokemon to the world. That's how deep in with this license he goes. And then another guy, the CEO, David, has actually licensed Pokemon in the past as well. So, I mean, I'm just saying, if the whole idea was based fully around the licenses they had access to at that time, Pokemon was like, both of them had access to that license. I'm just saying, like, his words, not mine, his words. The company was built around this. The company was built, like I told you all how I think it went down. I think it went down by them having the Pokemon license, and that's how they secured everything else under that. Because if you have Pokemon at the top, everything else is going to fall into place. But that's just theory. This is speculation because that is not confirmed. But I mean, it makes sense. I'm just saying.
I guess just to give an overview of what Veve is, you know, really we tried to take what is the physical experience of collecting, that millions of fans do every year. They spend $300 billion on collectibles, and we didn't want to.
That's valuable information too, by the way. So collectibles by themselves is a $300 billion industry. So collectibles by themselves is just a $300 billion industry, and this Veve has the potential to be the biggest collectibles app in the world. Then this also focuses on gamers. They're going to have augmented reality and a lot of gamification coming to it. So gaming is another one of the biggest industries in the world. Then we also have the crypto community. Crypto is another one of the biggest industries in the world. He's giving gems already. Stay woke.
Change anything about collecting because it's already there, it already exists, and it already has all the emotional triggers that are in place. So what we wanted to do was try to transition that from the physical world into the digital space. And obviously one of the key tools or technologies that allowed us to do that was the advent of blockchain, and then NFTs coming out on top of that.
So I guess there's good and bad, pros and cons, and a lot of people are saying, well, it's the scarcity that's provable when you make these things digital, but you're saying you actually want to keep that sort of physical 3D aspect to it. So that's quite different to other projects, but you still have that blockchain provability. So is that kind of what you're describing there, where you want people to be able to look at them and, you know, good quality, but they're digital rather than real sitting on a shelf?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's exactly it. As a fan, you can walk into a hobby store and you can buy your, 12-inch Batman statue, or you can come into Veve and you can buy the exact same statue, because the models that we sell are actually sculpted by the artist who created the physical model. So we're not reinterpreting it. We're getting that directly from the source, from DC. So you're really buying an authentic digital model.
Okay, so that's interesting. That's something that I didn't know. I thought that maybe some of these poses and things was actually created specifically for Veve, but it turns out they're taking items that already exist, putting it into a digital space and making it limited. So they're helping the value exist around some of these things right now. So that's very interesting. The fact that they're already taking something that already pre-exists. So a lot of the stuff that you can Google things right now, and there's a chance that we will see that on Ecomi in the future. So that's insane. This is insane information.
And the reason we wanted to go 3D was for that exact reason, Alex, is that, we wanted it to still be very much a tangible experience. And by offering all of the collectibles in 3D, whether it's a vehicle or a figurine, it just took it so much further than, what still kind of prevails today, which is, sort of 2D or maybe like a video file. It's very limited as to what you can do with that.
Yeah. And the big thing that you already just mentioned there was the some of the partnerships or branding licensing that you had access to. So a lot of people are hopefully by now familiar with the concept that projects have come out with their alpha or beta version. Red Fox, for example, did their own and they made up those cogs. And now people are moving on to partnering up with real world artists, like Kings of Leon came out with that NFT style track the other day, or trying to partner up with big brands like NBA Top Shots, and they have the licensing to do these things. So talk us through some of the licensing and that you had like very early on, and I think that's why you've been repriced so much recently, because they're very big partnerships.
By the way, I am not expecting him to confirm Pokemon in this video. If they were ready to announce Pokemon, it would be announced. The thing is, when it comes out of their mouths, it's going to be a big deal for Veve, and Veve cannot handle too much traffic right now. It's just not in a place to. So they're not ready to talk about certain things. So in a setting like this, like, he's never just going to come out on a random YouTube channel and mention anything that's not already out there in the public. So yeah, like that. So take that into consideration. The fact, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, they didn't say it, they did. Like, I don't expect them, like any interview that I watch with these guys in it, I'm never going to expect them to say it, because it's going to be announced from Veve first, because it's going to be such big news and it's going to be game changing for the platform as a whole. So you're not going to go on a random YouTube channel and announce that. You're going to announce that yourself.
Yeah. So our real strategy going into it was to try to corner this market in two ways. And when I say corner the market, I mean corner the area that we are in, which is 3D premium licensed digital collectibles. And we wanted to try and corner that in two ways. The first one being the licensors. Batman has 1 million, 10 million fans. Back to the Future has millions of fans. Ghostbusters have millions of fans. When you bring these properties on board, they bring a ready-made audience with them. So we knew that if we could secure the licenses, we'd have an audience. And then the other part of our sort of a cornerstone to achieve what we've done was to give those fans a really solid collectible experience in an entirely new way, but something that they already knew. It's like, it's a 3D model, I can put it there, I can sell it over there, I can put it on display there. Everything they do in the real world, but literally all now accessible from the palm of your hand. So they were the two main sort of cornerstones. And in terms of the licensing, as some of the early investors will likely know, we're very lucky to have a gentleman in the company by the name of Alfred Khan. He is responsible.
Alfred Khan. They were very lucky to have Alfred Khan. So Alfred Khan played a big part of their company's success early on. Well, this is his biggest project. So if anything was leveraged to get this app to where it was him and his connection to what? Just saying.
For a little known game called Pokemon. Very funny story, actually, if I can just quickly digress. It was like, whatever it was, 20, 30 years ago, he was in Japan doing a lot of licensing work over there. I believe it was for Nintendo. And then he found this game over there called Pocket Monsters. And he spoke to the to the Japanese company, and he's like, and they were like, no, the Westerners will never get it. It's that you can't take it. It's not, the property is not for sale. And then he was like, I can make it work. And anyway, they ended up saying, yes, fine, you can take it, but don't ever credit us for anything. We don't want to be involved in any way. And then sure enough, Al took it. We all know what happened to it. I'm sure they called him up and said, hey, Al, let's be friends. Yeah. So, he, as part of all of that, he was in the Licensing Hall of Fame. He was involved in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mario Bros.
Hold on, what did he just say? So did he say Al Khan is the owner? Hold on, so is the Japanese Pokemon different from the one... So did he basically receive permission to do with Pokemon as he pleases? Because if that's what he just said, it's guaranteed. Like, hold on, I gotta hear that again. I gotta play that back, y'all, because it sounds to me like he just said the company who made Pokemon was like, here, you can use Pokemon. Don't ever credit us. Don't involve us in anything that you do with Pokemon. Here, take this. If that's what they just said, hold on. We gotta go back a little bit here. I gotta hear that.
Alfred, he is responsible for a little known game called Pokemon. Very funny story, actually, if I can just quickly digress. It was like, whatever it was, 20, 30 years ago, he was in Japan doing a lot of licensing work over there. I believe it was for Nintendo. And then he found this game over there called Pocket Monsters. And he spoke to the to the Japanese company, and he's like, and they were like, no, the Westerners will never get it. It's that you can't take it. It's not, the property is not for sale. And then he was like, I can make it work. And anyway, they ended up saying, yes, fine, you can take it, but don't ever credit us for anything. We don't want to be involved in any way.
So they gave it to Khan and said, we don't want to be involved in any way. And I'm pretty sure Khan's connection with Nintendo is how that happened. So this causes a whole nother set of things in my head right now. So if Pokemon's license was like literally taken and they own it, they own the rights to Pokemon full out, that means Khan and his relationship with Nintendo is huge. Nintendo's new augmented reality could literally mean that Khan not only has access to Pokemon, but Nintendo's augmented reality could be what they're using for Veve. This is all speculation and pieces that I'm putting together. But, I mean, he's saying this. This is coming straight from him, not me. It's not like I'm just making it up on the spot.
And then sure enough, Al took it. We all know what happened to it. I'm sure they called him up and said, hey, Al, let's be friends.
Yeah.
So, he, as part of all of that, he was in the Licensing Hall of Fame. He was involved in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mario Bros. Basically every major license out there. So
it sounds like he's in heavy with Nintendo. He's in heavy with Nintendo, man. Like, Nintendo, like, it could probably be a case made that Nintendo's success, a lot of Nintendo's success could probably be contributed to Al Khan, because Pokemon has to be one of their biggest brands ever, one of their biggest accomplishments ever.
So he really gave us the first boost. He was able to mainstream us into the right people. So the advantage we had with Al is that we didn't have to start from the bottom. And I think if we did have to start from the bottom, we probably wouldn't be where we are now. But the reason being is that we spent 18 months grinding away at these licensors. In the beginning, they were like, digital what? They really had no idea what it was, but we just kept going back. Every time the app was getting better, every time we'd have one more licensor. And then it started to hit this critical mass. We'd be right up, dealing with the president level of the companies, because they know digital is the next thing. And I actually give real credit to our licensors who believed in us back then, because now they are reaping the rewards of seeing our vision back then. They've got people ringing them up saying, oh, let's get on the NFT bandwagon. And they're like, well, we're already making hundreds of thousands through Veve already, products out there. So it was a very, very long road, very difficult, many trips to America and around America. But ultimately, that's what we wanted to secure, and we got it. And we have some other licensors this year of the same caliber that I'm very, very excited to announce in the coming months.
So he's just announced some licenses of the same caliber as Batman, and the stuff that's already been confirmed. So keep that in mind. He's just confirmed more licenses of the same caliber as Batman. There's not many licenses in the world that you can compare or put like in the same category as Batman. And think about this. We're only in the beta stage of Veve. Like, they're not going to release all the most important stuff first. They're not going to just drop all the biggest ones first. Like, they're gonna sprinkle it in. I'm pretty sure Batman is one of their tops probably, but they're not just going to just empty all the heavy hitters first and then leave us with like freaking, I don't know, the freaking Wendy's logo. Obviously not, but come on.
Fantastic. What can you tell us about the token model? So you're saying those companies...
Alright, so this is a pretty lengthy video. I think we got a lot of information from this, and this is my thought process when I think about stuff like this, man. So we're going to continue the rest of this video. We're going to have this in future uploads. It's going to be coming on the channel, so make sure you turn on notifications, drop that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And yeah, this is going to come out in different parts because I'm reacting to it. It is a little bit longer. It's a little bit more of a longer video. So yeah, hopefully you all enjoy it. Be sure to drop the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace out.